With Sarah Olson. Can you tell us what it is the government is demanding that you do?
The government has subpoenaed me to testify at the court-martial of Lieutenant Aaron Watada, as well as the pretrial hearing in this Thursday and Friday. They have asked me to appear. They've asked me to take the stand and essentially verify my reporting. They want to have me say that what I reported is accurate. The problem with that, as I see it, is that the Army is asking me to participate in the building of a case and the prosecution of political speech. I feel that that would threaten press freedom and chill dissenting voices and free speech, political speech in the United States.
And how did you learn that you were being required to go to this hearing and testify?
Well, I was actually first notified that I was on the Army's witness list back in July when the Associated Press and Reuters started emailing me. Later on, I was formally served with a subpoena just a couple weeks ago, and someone showed up at my house in Oakland several different times and served me with a subpoena to appear both again at the pretrial hearing as well as the court-martial.
And that pretrial hearing is January 4th?
It is, January 4th and 5th.
In Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
What are you planning to do?
Well, I can't really talk too much about my legal strategy right now, but what I think is very important is that there are a couple of different issues, a couple of different problems with the Army kind of dragging journalists into a military court and asking them to testify against their sources. I think it's my job as a journalist to report the news. It's not my job to participate, again, in the Army, in the military or government prosecution of political speech. I think when journalists do that, they really risk being turned into kind of the investigative arm of the government, really being seen as the eyes and ears of the military and the government. It really threatens to erode kind of that separation between the press and our government. I think that this is particularly ironic because the Army is, again, asking me, a journalist, to build the case against military personnel speaking to the press, against dissenting voices in the media. And I think, you know, kind of the final thing that I find really alarming about that is that it really does threaten to kind of eliminate those voices from the media. What kind of future war resistors would agree to speak with me or with other journalists if they thought that it was reasonable that they would be facing very high prison sentences, 4 years in prison, for explaining you know, the reasons for their opposition to the Iraq War. And I think that, you know, the debate around public issues, kind of current events, and in this case the Iraq War, is really an essential thing that the media provides. It's, you know, the informed citizenry really is kind of the lifeblood of democracy, and without the media functioning as, you know, really holding kind of all, you know, asking the important questions and really kind of representing every viewpoint, you don't have that informed debate. And I think that those are the things that the Army is really threatening and really challenging when they're, you know, asking me and other journalists to come into court and to testify against my own source in this case about political speech.
So you're going to go to the hearing but not cooperate, Sarah?
Well, again, I can't quite talk about kind of the legal strategy that we're going to employ, but I certainly hope that the Army can be convinced. For example, everything that I did with Aaron Watada, Lieutenant Watada, was recorded for radio. I certainly hope that the publicly available kind of radio recordings will be sufficient for the Army to do what they do without kind of, again, bringing journalists into the military court to testify against their own sources. It's kind of the very idea of being asked to cooperate with a case that really seeks to prosecute political speech is what I find so offensive.
Sarah, where is the rest of the media on this? How much support are you getting, both in terms of people coming to your defense, but also coverage of the situation?
It's interesting. I mean, I think that journalists are rightly concerned about this. It hasn't gotten a significant amount of media coverage yet. I certainly hope that people will continue to cover it, will continue to look at, why is this important? I think it's an interesting case because this is not something where I'm being asked to reveal a confidential source or, talk about unpublished material. It's really, it's new to be asked to just kind of, present the Army's case to really be the heart and soul of their prosecution, in this case, of his political speech. And so I think people are a little slow to understand that this really is something new and really is very alarming. But people are certainly have been very supportive, and I think with any luck, they'll continue to do so.